This image right over here reveals daily life for, I would say, most of the human population. You see a big hand in the background, right over here, pointing the finger. And pointing the finger is a symbol, a hand sign referring to you're one with Apollo. Okay? So you're one with the beast. So, those that worship the beast, all I'm saying, the pagan rulers, they set patterns in motion. Somewhere in the past. Some generations back, the pagan rulers did this. It affected the population. It brought contention and violence. It goes from one generation to the next, 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 to the next. And let's say that they established a pattern somewhere in the early 1800s. That's about 220 years ago. And it went on and on and on and on. Let's say this your grandfather who survived World War II. It goes all the way to here, the 1970s, 1980s, 1990s, 2000s, and here you are. And you notice that there is something going on, and you want to get away from it. You quote unquote want to move on with your life. So you flee. Because you can't cope, you flee. You get frustrated, upset. Now you want to dominate frustration and move on. So you want to forget about the past. You want closure. So you keep fleeing. You don't acknowledge it's fleeing that you're doing, but that's what you're doing. But here's the thing. You are fleeing on the same track that's going down. This is what's going on throughout human history. Patterns of violence are transferred from one generation to the next because people keep fleeing. Eventually, this is going to catch up with you, whether you want it or not. If you stand still, it will come to you. If you run away, you may delay it for a while, but it will come to you. So is it an inevitability that you face this going down? No. You can step away from the track, so jump off the track, and the track will go down. But this jumping off of the track is something most people don't even think about. It goes outside of their way of thinking, so then they need to realize that their way of thinking is wrong. Because their way of thinking, which society conditions them into, is all about remaining on this track. And it's this track here that they need to be delivered from. But this is what other folks do. They think they're moving forward because they changed their spouse, they married someone else, or they moved to another country, or they cut some people off, or they are now more violent in their speech, they're more direct with what they want, and they're more open when they're projecting their fear onto others. Not liking people, having something against people, it's all about projecting your fear onto others. That's all it is. You have all these coping mechanisms in the world, like enforcing boundaries, standing up for yourself, self-defense, this, that, closure this, closure that. You have all those coping mechanisms that keep you going, but it won't get you anywhere because you're still on this same track. It's only when you're delivered from this track that you will not face the going down of this. How do you jump from the track? You need to be delivered. But a lot of folks, they want relief, so they keep moving, and the moving itself makes them feel relieved. Because they're cutting people off, they're doing something else, you know how it goes. But it's only relief they get. Some get extended relief with aid of demons. But eventually you're still stuck on the same pattern. You cannot undo what the finger did over here. Nobody can ask you to do that because it's not possible for you to do that. So that's out of the question. It's not about reversing what happened before you in previous generations. Not possible for you to do that. Nobody can ask that of you. What you should do, and the only thing you're able to do, because you can't do anything else in this matter, is recognizing what's going on. And recognize that you have an option to be delivered from it. If you don't know how to get delivered, you begin to look for deliverance. Instead of fleeing, seeking relief. Remember, nobody can ask you to fix what was before you. There's nothing to fix here. It's a pattern, and the pattern's working out. You cannot undo how it affected others before you. Nobody can outside of you. Your only responsibility, because the only thing you can do is to seek deliverance from this. Everything else is just relief seeking with delayed destruction as a consequence. You don't have to go down with this pattern. Seek deliverance. Seek deliverance. Deliverance only found in Christ. Only in Christ. Everything else is just a delayed destruction, though to extended relief. Do you want relief, or do you want to be delivered? What do you want?